Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. Coming to you live here from Gen Con 2019, bringing you board game coverage all week long. As usual, I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
And we are joined here today with...
Andy Looney.
Captain Andy Looney, really.
That's right, Captain Looney of the starship Looney Labs.
So I gotta ask, what's with the get-up, Andy?
Well, we are releasing 4 new products today.
So
but the one that
slow Gen Con for you is what you're saying.
Yeah. But the one I'm the most excited about is Star Trek Chronotrek, which is the 4th Star Trek game we've made, but the one that I'm really proud of because it's a deep dive on all of the history of Star Trek. It's a Chrononauts version of the game, so it's got basically the best of all the time travel episodes from all the different Star Trek series. And it's just been an incredible work that I've been putting together for the last few years. And it went on sale today. So that's why I'm wearing a Star Trek uniform.
Makes sense.
All week, actually, here at Gen Con. I've got different uniforms for every day.
Oh, I love it.
So I've forsaken the usual Looney Labs uniform of tie-dye and a lab coat for Star Trek uniform.
Do you have a tie-dye Star Trek uniform?
There is no such thing.
I figured you would get it made or something.
Yeah, no, there have been a couple of weird, like when like Neelix had some pretty outrageous costumes with the pin pinned on there. But as far as Starfleet uniforms are concerned, it's going to be solid colors, no tie-dye.
There you go. I'm definitely digging those.
And I wish there was a purple one. You know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
original Star Trek. You had the red, yellow, and blue shirts. What about a purple shirt? You know, that'd be good.
Something for the Looney generation. Of
I
Star Trek.
would make that and be like, yeah, it's a type of crew member you don't usually see. I should peel this off and stick it on a purple shirt at some point.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm definitely digging, though, that you went through kind of the whole compendium of Star Trek, and you're not just like, oh, because, you know, some people, they like the original series. Some people are the Next Generation fans. What's the
Absolutely.
last one? I didn't see it. It shows you how much of a Star Trek
Discovery is the current
There you
one,
go.
and I'm not real fond of Discovery. The second season was better than the first, but yeah, I am a deep, true blue Star Trek fan. I've been a fan since I started watching the cartoon series as a kid in 1973.
I didn't even know there was a cartoon
Yeah, it was
series.
only on for a season and a half, and it's widely disregarded by Star Trek fans, but it's actually my favorite because it was my first Star Trek.
It holds a special place in your heart.
It does. But yeah, I could talk about Star Trek all day, and some of the viewers who aren't into Star Trek are probably afraid I'm going to. But I got other stuff too. Again, I'm in uniform because it's the one I'm the most into. But I'm really excited about Are You a Robot, our new micro game that's a werewolf style game, but for 2 or 3 players, and we're going to definitely play that right here on the air. But
Love it.
just to review the whole menu of things I've got to talk about: Star Trek Chrononauts, the Chronotrek, I should say. The Are You a Werewolf style game, Are You a Robot? Stumbling over all my own different things. And then 2 new versions of Fluxx. We've got Marvel Fluxx, that's right. All the Marvel superheroes. Well, not all of them, because there's an awful lot of them. But we squeezed as many as we could in here. And Jumanji Flux, which I'm also super excited about because it's fun. I like Jumanji as a subject. It's exciting. But this one really has something new that Fluxxes haven't had before, a new kind of card called a danger card that can cause you to be eliminated from the game.
Okay.
You can jump right back in because, you know, you got another life until you run out of lives. And then it's, elimination becomes permanent. And I'm really pleased with the way that came out.
So is that off of the original Jumanji or the new reboot?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Absolutely. It's I'm a fan. Actually, I am a fan of the original picture book that Jumanji, the first movie, was based on.
Yeah.
And in fact, in the picture book, there's a volcano, and so I've got a volcano eruption card that I think is really like not only to the book because it's not in either of the movies.
So it's not only the movies, but the book as well. So you're really covering all of Jumanji.
I am trying to. Yeah, I love Jumanji. I think it's great stuff for a game, and I was always a fan of the original movie, and I really thought the reboot. Reboot doesn't seem like the right word, but whatever you call it.
Spiritual successor.
Yeah, I like that. But I mean, it was great. I was so excited by how good it was.
Yeah.
And you know, there's another one coming out.
I just saw the
just saw the
trailer for
trailer.
it the other day. Yeah.
I saw that too. I'm pretty excited to have a
Super
Jumanji game
stoked.
in advance of there being another Jumanji movie. I hope the next one's as good. But that's great. Marvel Flux, of course. I mean, there's nothing really especially new. It's got a couple of interesting new actions. I could talk about the arena, but it's pretty much just your basic Flux. But Jumanji is Flux with a new thing.
So Marvel Flux, is that based off of the movies or is that based off the comics?
It's based off the comics.
Okay, so we're going to see comic book artwork in there.
Yeah, it's all illustrations, comic style illustrations. I mean, we can take it up and take a look. You got a little pad there for showing
sure
it all
do.
and stuff.
Just don't give me the Hulk; he'll be see-through.
Oh well, I don't know. There's a nice selection of random characters for you there.
Got Drax, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, all the biggies, and then of course
That guy,
Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I think a few people know him.
Now, one of the things that's interesting about these two new ones is that there's two editions actually. We're in partnership with a big company called Cardinal that makes games that sell into like Target and Walmart and places that we're not in, and so they're going to be doing a version of both of these games that'll be a little cheaper in Target and Walmart. Our version has 7 bonus cards though.
Okay.
So you want to go to the game store and get the bonus edition if you want Nick Fury or Agent Coulson because they're in the pack of expansion cards.
I'm also noticing that coin over there.
Yes, that's right.
too.
They both come with a cool little collector coin. We call these a turn token actually because we use them to indicate whose turn it is. And in fact, it's not just a cool little collectible in the thing. There's actually a game need for it. There's a card called Move the Token, which requires that when your turn ends, you pass the token along. And if you forget and fail to do so, you have to discard a card as a penalty for that. And there's that card there. And so, yeah, each of these new Cardinal releases, they come in a little bit bigger of a box, and they will all have the cool turn tokens as part of their packaging. And that's the deal with those.
Perfect.
Then the last thing I would like to talk about, just a hair. It didn't actually come out today, so it doesn't quite feel like it belongs with the set, but it's quite recent.
Okay.
And that's the ability to make custom decks of our game Lunacy with your own art on them.
Oh, that's cool.
Called Custom Lunacy. With our friends over at the Game Crafter, they have made a wonderful engine that lets you pick whatever pictures you want. You can upload your own pictures or pick ones from our library and make your own version of the game in as few as just one deck.
Oh, that's really awesome.
And so this one here is, I call this one Andy Lunacy, and it's got all pictures of me on it and things that I like, but cake and pyramids, but mostly me. And so that you can spread those out a little bit on the thing there for viewing. But Custom Lunacy, you could make your own version about you, just as I have made one about me. And if you don't know Lunacy, it's our high-speed, get rid of all your cards first game, but without turns, and just matching up the fun pictures. And we've got a bunch of different versions of it, but now you can make your own, like I did. So that's an overview of all the stuff I've got going on right now. But I want to get back again, as I said, to Are You a Robot? Because that's perfect for 3 players who have just a few minutes, as is the current situation. In fact, there's also a 2-player version, and we'll see that first. See that after we do the 3-player version, because the 3-player version is the one that makes the most sense and is the easiest to explain. So show those to the viewers there.
All right.
The package it comes with, it's just this little pack of 6 cards actually. The other 3 are like rules and ads cards, but there's only 3 cards in the game itself, and 2 of them say you're a human, and 1 says you're a robot. And of course, if you're a robot, this is like an evil robot who's trying to take over humanity, disguised as a human. We have to destroy them. That's the way it is.
Of course.
Standard deal with evil robots. Of course, we can't tell if you're a robot until we shoot you. So that's the only way to find out is to shoot you. But if you think you're a robot, you have to shoot them because otherwise they will destroy us. So here's the bottom line. There are three cards. Each of us will get one. One of us will be the robot. The other 2 will be humans. So it will be up to us if you're the humans, you have to figure out who the robot is and shoot them. Now, the robot is programmed not to kill humans, so the robot can't shoot. The robot can say absolutely anything else they want. They can lie and say they're humans or whatever they want. They just cannot point and say zap.
Gotcha.
So the game ends when a human points at another player and says zap. If the human shot the other human, the humans lose and the robot wins. If a human shoots the robot, the humans win.
Okay.
That's the whole game. Yeah. Choose your fate.
All right.
All right, so I'm a human.
I'm a human.
I'm definitely a human.
Well, one of the two of you is lying to me because I really am a human. And
Matt likes to lie a lot.
I know, but I feel like I can't trust you right now, Andy. I don't know.
why would you say that? I'm very trustworthy. Look, I'm in a Starfleet uniform. Starship captain would never lie.
Well, because you don't look like the typical Andy Looney that comes by. So
That's a good point.
You're not wearing your lab coat.
That's
so.
true. But I do wear other clothes besides the lab coat. I know that's the only time you see me. It might seem like that's all I ever wear. But in my day job as a Starship captain, I wear this.
That makes sense.
Anyway, I'm a human. You're trying to tell me you're a human.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes you the robot.
That makes me the robot.
Well, I guess.
I said I was the human. Matt just likes to take over the show.
Saying it is one thing. Being it is another. So I'm really a human. That makes one of you the human and one of you the robot. So I'm going to pick one of you and say that if you don't shoot the other one, I will shoot you. See how that works?
Yeah, I see how that works.
Because I can definitely shoot.
Unless you're the robot.
Unless she's the robot.
Of course. And
that would be something the robot would say.
It is true. Robots are programmed to say exactly that sort of thing.
They're trying to get
but
you
I
in
really
those
am
logic
human.
loops. Yeah.
So let's. Well, what do you? Do either of you have a sense of whether the other is lying or not?
I don't know. I feel like Josh might be lying right now.
Well, then shoot him. You should shoot him. I think you should shoot him.
What about you, Andy? Why can't you shoot him?
Yeah,
because I'm going to shoot you if you don't shoot him.
I don't think you're going to shoot me because I think you're a robot.
I'm going to shoot you, and I can because I'm really a human. So you better shoot him. And if you aren't even going to try, that just convinces me you can't.
But I mean, so
all right, 3, 2. You're not even going to try?
I don't think you're going to shoot me.
I sure am. Zap!
Oh, darn it. Yes! Darn it.
He wasn't.
I'm a human.
Why? You didn't even.
I thought you were the robot, Andy. I'm sorry.
If I was a robot, I wouldn't have been able to shoot you. You should try harder to convince me you're really a human. It's like he's so programmed not to shoot, he didn't even hold up his gun. All right. Well, now we're going to try the 2-player version.
Okay.
And in the 2-player version, there will still be 3 cards.
So someone cannot be a robot.
There's a strong possibility that there is no robot.
Gotcha.
And if there is no robot, then the humans have to trust each other to win. And they demonstrate this trust by shaking hands. So if 2 players are convinced they're both humans and shake hands, the game ends. But if one of them was a robot after all, the robot wins.
Oh.
Because I may not be able to shoot you as a robot, but I can hold you in my death grip. Because that's the thing too. If we're let's shake hands. If we're humans, we let go again, and we're like high five because woo, we won.
We did it.
But if I'm the robot, I don't let go. And that's how you know that you lost the game, because the robot has you in his death grip. All right. So now you two are gonna play.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit back here and watch.
You're going to moderate.
I am just exactly. So you will draw each draw a card, and we could let the home viewers see the 3rd card. If I could put it there, I don't know if they.
We'll close our
you'd be
eyes.
able to see it.
We'll close our eyes.
Close our
You
eyes.
can close your
We
eyes.
won't look.
Can they see the thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So all right, I'll tell you when you can open your eyes again after you've each drawn your card. All right. So draw a card. Choose your fate.
I want this one. That was
All right. Look at your own cards.
Okay.
All right. Close your eyes.
Eyes closed.
Here you go, viewers. That's what the 3rd card is. All right. And now, open your eyes again and commence playing.
How you doing over there, Josh?
Are you human?
Are you human? Are you human?
Are you human?
I'm definitely human. Are you human?
I'm definitely human.
I don't believe you. Prove to me that you're human. Sing me a song.
Songs are robots can't sing. That's part of their programming, I think.
He's not singing
I
me
know
a song.
I'm a human. I'm not singing you a song. I'm a little teapot, snort and shout.
Snort and shout. Yes.
Can't see. I can't
Snort and shout. I'm that kind of a teapot.
Well, so I mean, are you gonna offer me a handshake or something, Mr. Robot?
I'm not a robot.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think you're a robot.
I'm not a robot. I can promise you, from the bottom of my human heart,
I don't know if I believe this.
I want a handshake.
Zap.
Oh, he was so close! If only you'd shaken his hand. Oh, the robots win because of the human on human violence, even if they're not a
The
robot.
distrust.
Yeah, there you go. And that's how you play with 2. But this game, you can get multiple packs of these and play with even more players, because if you combine sets, you can play with any number of players, really.
Infinitely expandable.
Yeah. You always start with still one human.
Mm-hmm.
But with the big group, if a human shoots another human, then the game continues until they've eliminated the robots.
Mm-hmm.
But each time a human kills a human, the robots have a chance to turn a human into a robot. There's a whole kind of complicated process that you do when you have more than 5 players to moderate out the transformation of a human into a robot and all that.
When you want to expand it beyond a micro game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
You can also play it with 3 or 4 players using the same uncertainty that we saw in the 2-player game, and the need to shake hands if you think there is no robot in the group at all, by combining 2 sets.
Gotcha.
So you can play with 3 either way.
So, Andy, I have to say, you showed this to me at Origins.
Yeah.
We got to play. It was probably one of the favorite games I played at Origins.
Oh, awesome.
It was just like, oh, this was a stupid little fun game, and we had a lot of fun. And I actually kind of showed Matt a little bit of it, but you give such a better pitch to the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've done it a few times, but yeah, this is I'm real excited about it because it's the same as Werewolf in a certain way, except that it works with such a small group. It didn't seem like it would be possible to make that work, and yet here it is. We cracked the code of that puzzle.
Great little filler game for game nights where you don't have a massive number of people.
Absolutely, because it just takes a couple minutes. You play again. It's a 2-minute game, and I love that I can just keep these 3 cards in my wallet.
Yeah.
And anywhere I go, I've got a little 2 or 3 player game that we can fill in a few minutes with.
Perfect.
So speaking of filling in a few minutes, how are we doing? Are we out of time, or do we have time to kill?
We got a couple minutes left.
Well, you want to play another round of this, or should we play something else?
I've actually never played Lunacy before.
Well, let's play Lunacy with my Andy Lunacy deck.
Andy Lunacy deck.
Why not?
I haven't played either.
Well, gee, we got to correct that. So, what is this doing in here? This came out of one of these other ones. All right, so this is a game kind of slightly like Uno in that, you've got a hand of cards. You're trying to get rid of your cards first. First one to run out of cards wins the game. Other than that, there's no other similarities. I don't know, actually. How many cards do you start with in Uno?
It's been years since I played Uno.
No idea.
Maybe
7?
it might be. Yeah, it's 7 in this one, so maybe it's the same too. All right, so everyone starts with a hand of 7 cards, as I say, and you're trying to get rid of all of them first.
Did you draw this picture of yourself, Andy?
I did not. Actually, that was by my friend Allison, customer service manager at Looney Labs. But long ago, she drew that. So there will also then be there will be a variable number of discard piles. With 3 players, there will be 3 piles.
Okay.
But with more players, you'd have fewer piles. So in a 5-player game, you're only going to have 1 pile.
Oh, that's interesting.
But with 3 players, we'll have 3 piles. And you can discard onto any of these piles as soon as you have a match.
And there's no set turn order
There are no turns. So I can play here because these both have a pyramid, and I don't have to turn it around. I can just play it like that.
And it replaces the card
and
on
it
top.
covers it up, yeah. And you can jump in on any one, and I have cookies there, and I have cookies there.
I've got cookies too.
And you have to play each card one at a time. But I have that one there. Oh, I have a cat.
Oh, darn it. I've got that fire there, and then I've got the time agency too.
Okay. Now, if you are unable to play, point at the deck like I'm doing. When we're all pointing at the deck, we're all going to draw a card, but don't look at it yet. Hold it out like this in front of you until everybody has their card. Since it's a real-time game, we have to do this to be fair. Now that we all have our cards, we all look. And the game resumes, and I can play that one. All right. So there's a lovely ebb and flow to this game because, go ahead, because we have this franticness of trying to play as fast as you can and trying to squeeze people out, and then you're like, I don't have anything. I'm waiting. And in fact, right now you're all pointing, but I can still take as long as I want to make sure that nope, those are good. All right, we're good. There we go.
Okay.
So that gives you a nice moment to catch up and catch your breath, which a lot of these kind of speed games don't have. It's often compared to Spot It, but in that game, there's always a match, and it's a matter of who's the first one to find it. Whereas here, there might be no match, and it's you look at it and you look at it and you finally realize, nope, there's no match. Let's all draw.
Okay.
Cookies.
No cookies.
Love cookies. Love cake.
Don't we all?
Those are some of my favorite things.
These are a few
Gotta be
of
chocolate,
my
though.
favorite things.
The Emperor and Pyramids.
Oh no.
I got a cat.
I don't have a
Computer.
fire.
I have a doctor, and I have that, and I have that,
I have bacon.
and I have
Oh, 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 oh.
I have chocolate.
I have chocolate.
I have chocolate and I have Homeworlds and I win.
Congratulations,
And that's how you play Lunacy. And every version, I mean, it's always the same game. It just has different pictures, you know.
Yeah.
But some versions can be a little harder than others, depending on how similar the pyramids might look, the pictures might look, or if there's backgrounds that are the same. But there's also we've got educational versions of this too, which are even more tricky. They'll be like ones where it have, like if you're trying to learn geography, there's a version that's got states, like a picture of the state plus the name of the state, 3 and 3, and so they match onto each other, and that way it's like you're learning what they all look like by matching the things.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's we've got so many different versions of this now because it's just so versatile, and any theme adds to it wonderfully.
So where can our viewers go to get their copy of Custom Lunacy?
Custom Lunacy, you need to go to the Game Crafters website. If you go to loonylabs.com, there's a link there, but you can also just go directly to the Game Crafter, who we recommend for all of your one-off or short-run game production needs. They do an excellent job, and not just cards, all sorts of game parts. I really enjoy using the Game Crafter to get stuff prototyped.
And then where can our viewers go to find out more information and just get their hands on a copy of all these awesome games that you brought to show us today?
Loonylabs.com is a website, but of course we always like to send you to our game stores first. So if there's a friendly local game store in your town, please patronize them. If they don't carry our games, ask and they will do it for you.
Absolutely.
And they can go to all these other games. And yeah, that's where you want to go to get the specialty editions of Marvel and Jumanji Flux with the extra cards.
Alrighty. Andy, thank you so much for stopping by. We really
Thank
do
you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Oh, no.
Yes,
no,
I am a
robot
robot.
Andy.
I don't let go. It's changed the way I shake hands with people now. It's hilarious. I'll let go right away on you. Thank you all for joining, or letting me join you, rather, for another
Always a pleasure.
session of gaming.
And thank all of you for watching at home. We're going to take a brief intermission right now, but we'll be back in just a few minutes with more coverage here from Gen Con 2019. I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
Have
And
a good
I'm
one.
Andy Looney.
See you.